You have almost made it to the middle of the year. Do you even remember what your New Year's goals were back in January? So this year in January, we did a big New Year's writing goals workshop. And I know that I was very ambitious. I'm sure you had all sorts of ambitious dreams at the beginning of the year. However, how's your year gone since then? I know mine has been full of surprises. And so I have had to navigate and adjust a little. And I know so many of us probably can't even remember what we were thinking back in January. So often, the simple trick to finishing your book is to just keep on coming back to those goals. Every time you fall off your progress, forgive yourself and get back on. And so I wanted to take a YouTube video this month to just revisit New Year's goals in 8 steps. And so when you fall behind, if you're not making progress, if you are making progress and you're really excited, the best way to move forward, no matter where you're at, is never to give up on what you want in life, but just to navigate whatever has happened. And so, over the years of being an author and being a book coach in business, I have developed certain navigation questions, as I call them, that I check in on a weekly or monthly basis to make sure that I'm learning from my challenges, I'm congratulating myself on my progress, and I'm continuing to believe in my business and author dreams. So let's take a moment to do this together. As you know, I always have the PDFs provided. And so I'm going to link to the whole New Year's goal workshop below so you can have the PDFs. And the third page of the PDF, Navigating Your Dreams, that's where you can print out these questions and see them right in front of you. So there's a goals workshop. If you haven't set your goals yet, set them now, whenever you're watching this video. But I also have these questions in PDF, but let's go through them together. First and foremost, often we don't go back to our goals enough. They get shoved aside unless we really believe in them and we really keep coming back to them. So point number 1, look at the goals you set for yourself in January. Do they still resonate? Do they still make sense? Do you still want these things? As a writing coach, one thing I say is you never step in the same river twice. And so often we'll have this book baby in our minds and hearts. And if we get sidetracked, if we're not making enough progress on it, we can come back to it and it may have changed a little bit. And so first and foremost, check in on your goals, see if your creativity has changed. How have you evolved? Second question, what are you proud of that you have accomplished this year? What in the last 5-6 months have you overcome? What do you want to celebrate? This is such an important question. I know that when I would do writing groups, I would always start with the positive because we're already hard enough on ourselves anyway. And so second question is, what are you most proud of? Next is question number 3. What has been frustrating? What has been difficult? What has been challenging? If you've fallen off and not made a lot of progress on your book, why do you think that is? What has happened? Question number 4, what can you learn from it? How can you navigate around those challenges now that you are really conscious of them, looking at them? What do you want to do differently? So those first 4 questions, those are reflections on how far we've come. Really quick to review, look at the goals. What are you proud of? What has been really frustrating and difficult? And what have you learned from that? Really quick, really easy. If you do a weekly journaling session or you're just really getting into this mid-year check-in that I'm doing, these are really quick ways to just check in with yourself and really give yourself the confidence to move forward. Next, we're going to do that. The next 4 questions are about moving forward. So often we can get sidetracked by multiple dreams. And so that's why I have question number 5. What is possible for you in the second half of the year? What would you love to do? What do you want to do? And so the best way to avoid overwhelm is, ironically, just get it all on paper. Put it all down. Don't hold back. Just make a list of every possible thing that's possible. Then after you do that, of everything, which is the most compelling? Which has the strongest emotional charge? Now, here's where we can start to censor ourselves a little bit, because sometimes one thing may have the strongest emotional charge and another thing might have the strongest practical charge. And so you need to take into account for yourself which is more important to you. If you're always steering towards something extremely practical and getting burned out as a result, then maybe you should just give yourself some hours or some time to nurture an impossible dream into existence. On the other hand, if mundane practicalities are just overtaking your life, and you really would feel better if you just dedicated some months to figuring that out, that's what we've got. We've got some months, the second half of the year. And so of everything is that's possible from your heart, what do you want to focus on most? Now, after you do that, write a paragraph about why it's important to you. When you really bring that into your consciousness, it is such a motivator. Sometimes we don't acknowledge why something is important to us. And when we can just write that down, verbalize it, we're a huge step ahead. And then finally, the 8th question is, what can I do this week to create momentum? So this is a wonderful trick to really make goals real. It's easy to write down a goal, especially a New Year's goal, and say, you want to know what? I'm going to get to that. I really want to do it. But if you start the momentum, then you can start to see how easy it is to take the first steps. They can be tiny steps, but once you take pride in just a little bit of momentum, once you get the ball rolling, then you won't forget. You won't shove it aside because you've started. And so I hope that the mid-year check-in is going to be really useful to you. I have all the PDFs down below. So if you want a little help with goal workshops, goal setting, anything of that nature, the link is right down below. And every single Friday, I put out a new video to help motivate you to move forward on your writing goals. So take some time for your author dream this weekend. So much love. Talk soon.